What is up, everybody? I'm going to start to introduce the podcast
I love
right
it.
now. So I beat you at the buzzer.
Beautiful.
So it has been nothing but a beautiful day. Actually, a beautiful 2 days because Juventus had a beautiful win yesterday and culminated with AC Milan winning 3-1 at Cagliari.
He's getting smarter.
Does he get a dictionary?
The beauty, the cherry on the cake was Inter losing at home with Sassuolo.
But wait a second. The camera's only seen you so far. And on my side, we're missing a guest. We're missing two guests, but we're missing one specific guest.
One had some sort of a sickness because I don't think he couldn't take
panic attack.
Peter said that he was on his way, and then all of a sudden, Sassuolo scored 2 goals.
And then something must have happened. I think he got caught in traffic.
Yeah.
And then got caught in depression.
Pete, we're still waiting for you.
The door's open, buddy.
The door is open?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's defense.
Oh.
Jeez.
That would've been good
He's nasty.
But you know what?
joking
I get to enjoy to watch Summer. I'm very proud of him. He made me proud.
I'm very proud of him.
Summer, he made me very, very proud. Made 2-3 spectacular
Errors.
saves. And a nice mistake on the first goal, but well deserved.
How do we explain this Sassuolo side? I want to start with them first. Because this team was winning 2-0 against Frosinone 10 days ago. They were winning 2-0. They conceded 4 goals to Frosinone. We thought, all right, this team is done. Defensively, they couldn't handle it. Dionisi was very attacking. A lot of conclusions were drawn. They lost Frattesi. They lost Maxime Lopez, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, after that loss, they came back and they beat Juventus 4-2. And then they went to Milano in the San Siro and beat Inter 2-1. How do we explain this Sassuolo? Mike, what do you think?
This Sassuolo team is all over the place. We're saying, oh, they're gonna have a horrible season. And they weren't doing anything great this season. Their record wasn't very good, and I think everyone had them to lose this game, except actually our friend Enrico over here, the producer.
No, that was me.
Okay, but yours doesn't count. Enrico, just to sum it up very, very quickly, Enrico Bocco di Fuoco put $25 on Napoli to win, Lazio to win, and Sassuolo to win. He won $750. We called him crazy because I was thinking Inter's not even going to lose a game all season. He believed, and he won that money.
Bocco di Fuoco listened to his manager.
I thought you were going to say master.
Okay, the maestro. Yeah, I'm the maestro. I told Enrico,
the maestro.
Inter is not winning today, so he put the tie and he put the win. So, congratulations.
Either way.
You keep listening to your manager over here, all right?
So where does it come from? Because we knew this Sassuolo side could attack well. I mean, question marks over Pinamonti, but he's got 5 goals in 7 games, all competitions. Today, no. Domenico Berardi is obsessed with playing against the big teams. He did it against Juventus. He did it again against Inter. He has a great record against Milano. Mike, can you pull up our tweet where we have all the goals and assists that he has in the top games? And the goal that he scored was phenomenal. A player that during the summer he was begging to leave Sassuolo all year long. Even the first match or two, he stayed on the bench because they didn't want to bring it in.
2 games.
And the fact that he stepped up and now is doing it in the big games, unbelievable player at his moment. But he doesn't always put it on, but when he does, he seems unstoppable almost. And then they got Loriente on the opposite side.
He was
That's
possessed.
just as good. Mike, you got the numbers? Mike?
Just Berardi, you say?
Yeah, we tweeted it.
Man, this guy
I have Sassuolo. You have Sassuolo's thing.
This guy, Sassuolo, I mean, Berardi. Only Berardi. I'm not saying about Sassuolo. Berardi was responsible for Allegri being fired from AC Milan when they slapped AC Milan for. He scored 4 goals on AC Milan, and that was the straw that hit the camel back.
All right, I got the numbers. Berardi's record against the top teams in Italy. Against Milan, 11 goals, 7 assists. Against Lazio, 9 goals, 4 assists. Against Inter, 8 goals, 4 assists.
Oh my God.
Against Roma, 4 goals, 6 assists. Napoli, 3 goals, 3 assists. Juventus, 2 goals, 3 assists. The giant killer, as we wrote it on our Twitter.
Wow, it's big. It's big. This guy here, I mean, you guys remember the negative game that he had on the Italian national team when he couldn't put the ball on the net with the goalkeeper a little bit out of action, but he's pure talent. This guy here, he can do it all. He's very good at handling the ball. He's very good passing the ball. He's very good striking. He knows it all. He's a complete player. I think this guy here, I would consider a renaissance player. He can do it all. He can do it all. It's a multifunctional player. You can put him even playing defense. He's going to do a great job.
That sounds like you sound like Allegri right now.
I'm not like
Utility
Allegri is
player.
not as smart as I am. So
Mike, where do you think it went wrong for this Inter side? Because obviously they were heavy favorites. There are other teams that drop points or have potential to drop points. And at home against Sassuolo, I know they won last week against Juve. Is it just Sassuolo playing good, or is it something that you saw from Inter that was poor? Was it playing Mkhitaryan too much? Is it what do you think, or is it just a mistake from summer?
I mean, first of all, that summer mistake, that's unacceptable, to be honest. You can't be making that. You can't be making that mistake. Onana for Inter never made any kind of howlers like that at the end of the day. But you can't just blame it on that. Overall, it's been very tough schedule for the top teams in Italy because they got to balance Europe, and they're playing in Champions League next week again. So maybe you could say it's a little bit fatigued. The schedule right now, it's a little tough, but whatever. At the end of the day, it's not an excuse. No one's gonna have a perfect record at the end of the season, so it's gonna happen sooner or later. So I wouldn't think too much of this. I think it was more of just a one-off game than anything. Anto, why are you looking at me crazy? Am I saying
Mike, it
anything
seems to me
insane?
you're trying to find excuse for those guys.
It's
They
not an
lost
excuse.
fair and square.
No, I did, but I'm just saying I don't think it's anything more than that.
Sassuolo could have scored at least another 2 or 3 goals.
But Inter also had a lot of chances.
Yeah,
too,
but
Anto.
Sassuolo had the cleaner
You gotta
chances.
say both sides. To
Uh-huh.
the thing.
No,
We
Mike.
have an interesting question. We asked everyone on our Instagram poll, and one that's based on Sassuolo. PF Mina says, should Pinamonti get a shot in the Italian national team? I said before, 5 goals in 7 games, all comps. He put in a shift again against Inter as well.
I would say yes, because if Belotti got a chance to play for the Italian national team, Pinamonti, it's on a higher level right now. It's a lot more, not intelligent, it's tactically more prepared to play this kind of game. And Italy can use somebody like Pinamonti. I agree with, what's his name again?
Well, his Instagram name is PF Mina.
PF Mina, I agree with you.
There we go.
Yeah, I'd call them off.
Berardi belongs over
He's
there.
not the solution.
Berardi would have gotten called up, but I think he was injured and he hadn't been playing in those stretch. But yeah, absolutely. That's what I kept saying. I said the last time, you guys tried to kill me when I said Berardi on the right wing. He's still the best right winger we have. Him and Chiesa on either side, I think, is the best solution for us.
100%. 100%. So Spalletti, for you, just take your notebook or your notepad, just take some notes, okay? So we want to see Pinamonti to be part of the group.
But you wanna, whatever they deserve. But you also want to build for the future too, right? Berardi's not the youngest anymore.
Okay, he's 29 years old.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, how many?
Okay,
what's
who
gonna
else
be
would you
4
play
more
over him?
tournaments?
Who's younger
I'm
that you
just
play over
saying,
that's better?
I'd still call him up at the end of the day. But it's,
I'm not saying to call him up. I'm saying to start.
Who do we have that he can play better than Berardi right now in the Italian national team? Politano? Come on.
I mean, I play Chiesa on that right.
Yeah, he said, no.
But you can play both.
No.
But I think there's also some good left wingers that you can put in.
Okay, who's your
Better
front
younger.
three, starting front three?
I like Gnonto on the left, maybe Chiesa on the right.
Nyonto, he doesn't. I don't think he's got it to
doesn't
start.
have
And Gnonto, when he's good, when he's on, he's on. I
The
think.
last couple games,
No.
too many back passes, not taking on his man enough.
Too many
He's also playing in
indecision.
second division in England. I don't know if the level is there, especially not to be a starter for me.
No. Okay,
But you
off
gotta
the bench.
build.
No,
But you-
Mike.
you
He can
gotta-
come off
you
the
gotta
Okay, but just
build.
giving him time doesn't mean you're going to build.
Mike, you cannot really compare Gnonto with Berardi. Berardi's got miles on this kid here. Come on. I like the kid. He's got a lot of,
I'm saying Chiesa to start over Berardi on the right.
No.
I would just play both. We don't have enough options.
Absolutely,
We have to find a way to play our
No.
best players. And then in the middle, you do like a Scamacca when he's
Scamacca.
healthy, Pinamonti. Try out a couple guys in the center for Retegui. Because if you got those guys creating service,
Absolutely.
you have Berardi and Chiesa, they'll make chances.
Retegui and Berardi.
The thing with
I like
Berardi
it.
my
too,
starting
it's
three.
hard to rely on him.
I like it.
Scamacca,
I know.
when
He
he's
gets
healthy,
injured
coming
too,
in.
you
I know.
Scamacca, if he's healthy, when he's healthy, to come as a sub just on the second half or whatever, if the game is still on the line or whatever. But definitely, that's a spectacular idea. Chiesa, Retegui, and Berardi. That's it.
When Berardi's
So-
healthy, which is how often too.
It's pretty good. Right now, he's been playing very well.
So we have since you
Yeah,
like
right
that
now,
question,
so-
maybe we'll take a bunch of questions from Instagram and make that be our topics. Koa says, question for Antonio. Is Okafor better choice than Giroud?
It's not better, but it's an option that I like to have it because I have seen it today that he's got some very good moves. He takes the defender one-on-one. He created the superiorità numerica that is always what you need.
He scored
when
a
you-
lucky goal though.
Well,
He had
listen.
another option where he should have scored.
Wait a moment, but he was there on the right place, on the right time. If you're not there, you cannot really use the excuse that, but if Okafor was
Okay, fair
there,
enough.
okay, the luck you created for yourself. I think Okafor is going to have the hernia stripe, but right now, given the time that he hasn't been used a lot, for the first time he was used for the first minute, and I think he scored when we needed, okay? He scored the equalizer for us.
You know what? You want to see Antonio's brain go into a tangent right now?
Yeah.
Who would you?
Antonio's brain?
Yeah. You want to see it?
I don't think he can stop for now, Giroud. So.
No. I'm gonna ask you a question. Who would you start? Krunic or Adli?
Oh, I gotta tell you something. I love the idea that we have another option. Adli surprised me a lot.
I know how much you liked him today.
Oh, I love the guy. You know why I like him
Anto
a lot?
likes
But you know,
average players. You
do you
love
know
average
why I like
players.
him a lot? This guy's been
You attract what you are.
He's been sat on the bench for over 350
I wonder
days.
why.
All of a sudden,
350
he comes-
games.
350 days.
Oh,
He
okay.
comes to all of a
You guys counting
sudden.
the summers over here with the
He
number.
comes out of a sudden, out of the cocoon, and he comes
Is it a
in.
butterfly?
He comes in, ball handling,
Can we Photoshop Ali on a
horizontal,
butterfly?
vertical, passaggi, interdizione, defense. He did it all. He did a spectacular job. Okay?
He made a
So-
mistake too.
Nah, I don't think that on the first goal it was his mistake. It was a lucky bounce. But anyway,
You create your own luck.
welcome Adli to the starting formation, and I think you're gonna show me a couple more, situations that you're coming in. You play 20 minutes, half an hour. You are on the position and on your way to earn your stripe, and I like that. And I like the fact that they never gave up on this guy here because he was almost sold.
Pioli
Everybody-
barely gave him a shot though.
That's what I'm saying to you. This Pioli here, it's not altogether up there from time to time. So he's finally coming on his own. He said, okay, I'm going to give you the shot. And they give you the shot for the first minute. And I think he did spectacular.
So you answer my question.
Will I start him over Krunic? Sometime.
Sometime.
Okay, game against Inter, next derby.
Champions League
Who you starting?
Champions League final. Let's not get crazy, right?
Champions League?
No. A game against Inter, next game against the next derby.
I will start him.
You'll start him over Krunic.
And that's how you can lose a
Over
second one.
one game.
I'll start him.
Yeah, I know Krunic is out. I'm just saying
we
hypothetical.
lost 5-1, and not because of his fault. Then I was no Krunic fault, but...
So then why are you using that as your point?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna start him. I'll start him. That guy, watch out. Listen, you're making fun of
I'm
me.
I'm
and
just
Adli
pushing
right
back a
now?
little bit.
Okay, pushing back.
Either one of us
I got news for you. I got news for you.
Tell me.
Adli is gonna spell high dividend for us. He's gonna just pay high dividend.
You know
for
who
us.
is paying high dividends? Who
Who?
I love? Reinders. What a player. I love him in the midfield.
He's great. He's taking
He
a lot
does
of shots. He hasn't been
everything.
able to score
He
so
does
far.
everything. He's a
Excellent player.
workhorse in the midfield. Loftus-Cheek also scored in the game against Cagliari. You guys went down 1-0. Luvumbo. I actually really like Luvumbo. My dad and you brought him up earlier on, maybe first podcast of the year. Very technical player. This Cagliari side, I think that's the first goal that they scored, right? All year?
Yeah, I believe so.
For Cagliari. Poor team. But you guys did good getting back into it. Loftus-Cheek, outside the box. Pulisic. Your boy
beautiful.
started left wing.
Beautiful.
Looked comfortable.
It was a little bit out of the action
Second.
for a little while because AC Milan was pushing the right hand side all the time instead of pushing Teo Hernandez. Obviously it was the fact that we didn't start Leao, so I guess we were concentrating on the right hand side. And maybe they saw some weakness on the defensive side of Cagliari on the right hand side over here, and they were exploiting that. And most of the time we got. All our goal, they started from the right-hand side. So I would say Pulisic, of course, with the two beautiful assists. He took the ball from the left one of the time, and then he put the ball in the middle, and then, the goalkeeper wasn't unable to...
I don't think that assist goes to Pulisic, but all right, we'll let you have it.
I would say it. Definitely, I would give it to
The
Pulisic.
second one. I mean, he also, Loftus-Cheek did most of the work on his goal.
Exactly.
So what I like at AC Milan is first place again, guys. A reminder that the Campionato is not over. Inter in fuga, all of this BS. You open the Gazzetta, you see so much garbage over there. Inter già in fuga, si parla di fuga. What fuga?
Why don't you translate for the people?
Let me translate it. Inter is not running away with anything so far, okay? Today they played a poor game. I saw Inzaghi almost getting out of his own skin
You said you liked that about him during the derby.
But that's what I'm saying. He's got the eye of the tiger, but sometimes the tiger didn't bite. Okay?
You got away with words.
Yeah?
You got away with words.
Inzaghi, calm down, all right? Take
Listen,
a Camomilla.
realistically, I mean, I know... I think this Inter side is the best in Serie A. I think they have been over the first 6 games, but it's normal to have a dip. And Sassuolo, I don't know. The way that they played was crazy. Maybe Inzaghi could do better with some of his rotations. I know it's always easier to say in hindsight. I completely expected them to win the game. But anyway, we're going backwards. We're going back to the last story we talked.
Let me give you some stats, okay?
Give me some stats.
They beat AC Milan 5-1, and they thought, okay, oh my God, if they beat AC Milan 5-1, it's over. Then they go to Empoli and they win 1-0. A miserable 1-0 on a goal that DeMarco, thank God for DeMarco, he was able to put the spectacular shot inside of the in the net. So you go from 5-1 to 1-0, and now you're losing 2-1. Something is not working over there. You buy the best French defender over there, Pavard, and you keep him on the bench for that long. So what do? You just then they sub Bastoni and they bring De Vrij inside. Why don't you bring Pavard inside? Why did you spend all that money for?
He's got to earn his stripes.
That's what I was saying about the rotation. All right, fun question. Since I just mentioned favorite team to watch. Cristiano Battista asked, who is everyone's favorite team to watch so far this season? And it can't be your favorite team, so you can't say Milan.
I would say, that's a good one. I would say, well, definitely Sassuolo is one of them.
Nah.
Yeah.
Recency bias. Recency bias.
No, it's 2 games in a row. Sassuolo, he has impressed me against Juventus. Hello? Sassuolo, I'm going to give you one more. Fiorentina. Impressed me a lot.
What about Fiorentina?
Oh, Fiorentina, they have a spectacular midfield, and the way they rotated the ball and the tempo that they have and the way that they play, fanno il gioco corto. In other words, the team as a unit comes up and it comes down, but they keep the field in halfway. They do not spend a lot of energy. They attack the ball possession of the opponents, and I think they produce a lot. I don't think they really produce it. They really struggle physically because of the way they play. They don't have to really kill themselves defensively because the team is stretched out so much. They don't have to run back and just dive or die to defend. So what they do, Fiorentina, just because of the midfield, the midfielder is a spectacular filter. If you have a spectacular midfielder, the defense, they work a lot less. The midfield spells a lot of trouble for the opponent because that midfield is capable to feed the offense and at the same time to play defense when it's necessary.
You know who's another team that's been very good to watch so far this season?
Yeah.
And they play them tomorrow? Frosinone. Frosinone-Fiorentina is a low-key, really, really exciting match. And for the people that are wondering, we're recording this podcast now because tomorrow we're not going to be available. We're not going to be around. And that's why we had to do it today. But that's a game to watch. If you're watching this before the game's there, maybe it doesn't seem beautiful on paper. You see Frosinone and Fiorentina. But I'm telling you, if you're just a casual, you haven't tuned into some of the football. Frosinone, they do not care about the style that the other team plays. They will play their game. And I thought it was going to hurt them. I had them going down. But Di Francesco's on this run to turn things around, and he's on this victory lap of really playing good football with some youngsters, and it's very exciting. So that one's going to be a great debate. Yeah. Mike, before you give yours, I want to remind everybody, make sure you like and subscribe on this podcast. We got to get our numbers up. Too many people watching but not subscribing.
Guys, you need to
which is not good.
You need to just press like too. Put a like and a subscribe.
Yeah.
Like it and subscribe.
And if you're listening on audio, make sure you rate us 5 stars. It's very important.
5 stars, not 4. 4 is not good. You got to put 5. Okay.
Bravo.
Cinque.
Anto knows that word too much.
He's been there for a while.
Oh,
and also, if you're only listening...
I got a present for you coming up.
Okay. If you're only listening on audio as well, you can't tell, but we have upgrading our light setup. We've got new lights, and let us know if you're watching on video if you see a difference.
If you see a difference on my hairstyle or my
you're gonna have to really shave your head now.
I have to do it.
You're missing a couple hairs, so you gotta now with the new lights.
You see every follicle,
it's a lot. And Mike, you might have to change that hairstyle.
Yeah, Mike, that hairstyle is not working, Mike.
Or you could take one of the culture hats.
You're not Argentinian, Mike. It seems to me you want to copy somebody's hairstyle of Argentina, like Retegui or whatever.
Is that Retegui's hairstyle?
No, he's trying to look like Retegui. No, you're not Retegui. You're not even close.
I didn't say
Mike, so answer Cristiano Battista's answer.
La Frosinone.
Answer what?
I
his
had
question?
another team,
Sorry.
but I'm not going to take it away from Mike.
Answer his
Come on,
question.
Mike.
Sorry.
That was a good one. Also, I think Daversa's doing better than I thought with Lecce.
Grace.
They're doing pretty what?
Great idea. I have Lecce too, but
I think I put Lecce going down, and
Really? No, I don't think you put him going down.
Pretty sure I had them 19.
Really?
I could be wrong.
Okay.
So
Who looks at those anyway?
no, with the prediction we have,
I know.
we're gonna
I'm
stick with
joking.
it.
Sorry, go on, Mike.
No, but I was saying they actually look pretty good this season. They're not looking to just play defense. They have some fun attacking players, like Anto's favorite Banda. Banda,
I like him.
Banda.
I like him.
He
I
loves
like
saying
him.
his name. Alves is very. They got some grit to them, and they're fun to see. They're not just like a team that's just gonna sit back and anything. They're a tough side, and they love to play in attack too. They score some pretty those counterattacking goals that they know how to score. We saw them lose against Juventus, but I think they were in the game for most of the time. But yeah, for them for sure, they're the dark horse for me so far. The 6 games that have been played, and we'll see.
Okay, question for you guys. I'm going to ask you something about Lecce. That was another team you were going to say?
Yeah. I have Lecce one another. I like the style. I like the style of playing.
Okay, so 1 through 20. Where do you think Lecce rank on most possession in Serie A?
Ball possession.
Yeah.
I would say 4th or 5th.
That high?
Yeah.
What do you say, Mike?
I'd say like a 9th.
So this is not updated to yesterday. It was the round before. They sat in about 17th place for ball possession, which is pretty amazing that they're able to play. Like, we're saying how good of a football that they play, which is true.
It's that counterattacking.
But they're efficient. They're like so good at playing a different way, because we always talk, the teams that we chose that play beautiful football, Frosinone, Fiorentina, whatever you want to choose.
Say Milan. You can say Milan. It's
Milan,
okay.
a lot of possession,
Juve.
which usually is beautiful type of football. But the fact that Lecce do the opposite, and I know they lose this game against Juventus. Before that, they were calling in Italy, I don't know if you heard this, Lecce, they were calling them Leicester. Because they had the same record as Leicester City in that iconic season where they won 3 games, they tied 2, they had 11 points and had +4 goal difference, which is exactly the same as what Leicester had after round 5. So they went a little bit crazy, and Daversa said obviously not. They lose 1-0 against Juventus. But the game, when you watch the match, Juventus didn't really do much. They did just enough. Cortomuso, 1-0. Wasn't brilliant, wasn't awful. Enough to manage the game. And they kept Lecce in it. And Lecce, I think, tried to play the last 15 minutes, which they've done a really good job at coming back into games. But they weren't able to against Juventus. But nothing spectacular from Juve.
I slightly disagree with you when you say Juventus really didn't do much or didn't want to do much. Lecce did not really allow them to do more than what they did. Hello, that's not a. Let's just level a little bit the playing field over here. So Juventus couldn't do more. They didn't have that many striking, opportunity and chances to put Lecce away. I mean, how many chances did
They had
Juventus
the one with Chiesa that he was one-on-one and he put it
that's
just wide.
1 or 2. That's it. You play against
But what
Lecce,
did I
supposed to
say?
bury 4 or 5 goals.
But that's what I said. They didn't do. I'm saying Juventus didn't play brilliantly.
Oh yeah, but you say it's like
He's
they
taking credit
didn't.
away from Daversa. This is what he's doing.
I just said that about Leicester.
Well, you were trying to downplay the fact that Lecce did not allow Juventus to do more than what they did.
All that hard work and training.
I don't know. I didn't see the same. I felt like the game against Sassuolo from Juventus played a little bit of an effect on them, where they did not look that intensity. I thought they were going to come out more guns blazing, which we know with Juventus, one day yes, one day no. But I saw a little bit of an effect on them and on a couple players. And the only real 2, I liked McKennie. McKennie's been really great. On the right wing back, he's earned his spot. The way that he defends, the way that he attacks, he's one of those guys that you consistently get that work ethic, which I can't say about every player on the Juventus side. We've given the names on a couple occasions. Vlahovic obviously didn't start in the game, but yeah, I don't have that much to say about this Juventus side because I didn't see anything crazy and a little bit worried with their reaction, if I'm being honest.
Let me tell you something about Juventus. This is the way I see it. I don't understand why management does not. I think Fagioli has solidified his position inside of the field all the time.
That's a good point.
Fagioli is gonna have to start the game for Juventus. Fagioli is not a sub. Fagioli is better than a lot of people. Fagioli is better than Locatelli. I mean, even though they play slightly different role, Locatelli, it's like the regista della difesa, it's like the back, the defense, ball handler, and then it's a distributor. But Fagioli's got a lot of talent, and I think it's been downplayed and it's been, mistakenly left on the benches, brought in only when Allegri thinks it's the right time to bring him
He's
in.
much better than Miretti.
By far.
Much
By
better than Miretti.
Tactically, it's a lot more intelligent. It's ball handling, his position.
Character-wise, too, though.
It's excellent.
Miretti
excellent
looked
player.
like, for me, in the beginning of the game, Miretti looked scared on the ball. I see Fagioli with more confidence than Miretti has.
Definitely. Fagioli's, to me, one at the top.
Yeah, I agree. What was the other thing? Lecce, by the way, they were unbeaten until that point. They got to come up against, is it Inter next?
I'm not
Can you
sure.
check, Mike?
I'm not sure.
I think it's Inter. We got a couple more questions. We got a couple good ones.
Napoli.
Is it Napoli next? There we
That's
go.
gonna be too tough.
Hey, listen, I would not be surprised.
Nick Barone asked about Napoli since we're going to Napoli. And then, of course, we're going to talk about Osimhen.
Do we know Nick?
He said, I don't know. I can show you a picture of him. I'll get that.
Hey, do we know Nick Barone?
You know Nick Barone? He said, did Napoli overperform today?
Did Napoli overperform?
Overperform.
I would say
Why overperform?
No.
Explain, Mike.
I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of.
This is Nick Barone, by the way. Keep going, Mike.
There's been a lot of.
I don't know. Maybe.
Send that just to the studio, right?
Yeah. He's invited to the studio. Nick,
Yeah,
you're
he's
invited.
There's been a lot of controversy with Napoli, Rudi Garcia, with what's happening with Osimhen.
We'll get into it.
that. But
Performance today.
Performance, whether they scored 4 goals, yeah, I feel like it was waiting in the chamber. You saw maybe goals that you would expected from the previous games, and I think they just all let it out against Udinese. So it was more of like a lot of stuff brewing at one time. Rudi Garcia kind of on the hot seat. Osimhen also frustrated. He got subbed off last game. Simeone coming off the bench hasn't been getting a lot of minutes, getting a goal. So I would say
Kvara scored for the first time since March
Kvara scored.
19th
There we
against
go.
Torino.
Won a penalty also.
That man, Kvara, was desperate for a goal.
He needed it.
He's looked, I don't want to say bad so far, but
Frustrated.
not great. Not great. He didn't start. I mean, last year he started at an insane fashion. Then obviously he had to dip at the end. But I'm saying today the goal, when I watch one player that really needed it, Osimhen as well. But I would say that Kvara really needed. He needs to get that season going.
Osimhen didn't take the penalty either.
Well, Dazon said that Rudi Garcia actually said for Osimhen to take it, but he left it off to Zielinski. And maybe Zielinski needs to be it because Napoli have a problem, number one, with who takes the penalties because they seem to miss so many.
I wonder why Osimhen left it for Zielinski. Maybe he was too scared to make the second mistake and the criticism.
Or
and the
be a
fact
good
that
teammate.
And the fact that TikTok put something over there that was not supposed to be on the official Napoli website. It's a lot of controversies going on right now. So Rudi Garcia, I think he's got a lot of problem on his hands. I think he's overplayed his hands for in the beginning. And now he needs to just level, just calm down and just let the player gain the confidence and that they had when Spalletti was their coach and just starting to get into the groove of play the style that they know to play.
All right, so let's talk about the Osimhen. Let's give our opinion. I'll explain the situation very quick for anyone that missed it. We made a video on this earlier today, a quick recap. So Osimhen played against Bologna. He stepped up to take a penalty. He missed the penalty. He missed the entire net. Afterwards, Rudi Garcia took him out of the game. Napoli were 0-0. He was upset that he got taken out. He wanted to play 2 up top with Simeone because they needed to win the game against Bologna. That's the expectations of Napoli. It started this whole fiasco. The next day, Napoli made a video for their TikTok, and they used a weird viral trend showing his penalty miss, which we saw it and we're like, kind of weird that you would do that.
Very weird.
Weird for an official team to make fun of their player in a way, right? Then it all broke where his agent came out saying that they could take legal action against Napoli for this post on Osimhen, which they thought was degrading to him. Osimhen on his Instagram removed a lot, if most, of his pictures in a Napoli jersey. And today, obviously, he starts, which is good, but it's led to a lot of problems. Now, if we break it down, is he really mad about a video that's posted on TikTok? Personally, I don't think so. I think that it's the contract talk, he was supposed to renew. I was reading today, too, in the newspapers that they said they had a verbal agreement, then it wasn't getting signed. Demands changed from both sides on who wants more money, who wants to pay him less money, where were the offers. So I think that it's more than just a video posted on social. Mike, you follow their page. We saw the content even before this. Are you surprised that this came out?
No, definitely not. I don't think this was the main thing that he was mad about. I think it was a lot of the stuff that you said first. Rudi Garcia not happy with the decisions that he wanted to play. How the season's going. I don't think the relationship and the locker room is the same that it is with Rudi Garcia than it is with Spalletti. And they started the season pretty poorly, considering they're the defending champions. And I don't think anyone's happy on this team. So it's one of those things that everyone wants a reason to be mad almost.
Having said that, he's got 4 goals in 6 games, by the way.
Him.
Yes, him.
He's doing individual. But as a team, they're not performing as a team.
But it's not that bad. It's not that bad of a season.
I don't know.
They won their first game in Champions League. Okay, they slipped up in a couple of games.
Performance-wise, they look like a...
It's 3 games. They 2 ties against Genoa and Bologna, and then the 1 loss against Lazio. Is it really this much?
There's only one real... Kim's the only real change in the starting 11, right?
Spalletti.
And in the starting 11.
Yeah.
If you look at the teams from last year this season, whatever you can say, you can argue, they get some results, whatever, bad thing, but they don't play the same at all. They don't look like the same team that won the Scudetto.
Okay, but now we're diving a little bit deeper than this.
But that's what I think it is. I don't think they're happy. I don't think they're happy with Rudi Garcia of how he is compared to Spalletti. Personally.
Antonio, you have no social media handles. Yeah. You have absolutely nothing. You're out of touch.
Instagram, no Facebook.
You're out of touch with this. So as the outsider to this, what do you make of the situation?
Those guys are running my Instagram account.
That's not true. Why are you lying to them?
I don't know. Somebody's running my... Maybe the producer over here is running my Instagram account.
So what's your take on this?
I gotta tell you something. I'm gonna go a step forward, a step ahead of what Mike said before. It's not that I do not agree with what Mike said before. I think they are baiting the situation for Osimhen to be sold.
Who, Napoli?
Let me tell you something.
Napoli?
Yes. Osimhen, the fact that he hasn't signed after the victory of the Campionato of the Scudetto, okay? It's indicative that he's not happy with what is being offered, number one. Number two, he's waiting and see what Rudi Garcia is got on his sleeves for him. The fact that he's been subbed already a couple times, and the fact that they post those things, to me, it's like baiting and just preparing a situation that can escalate. That I think it's already, he has gone over for Osimhen to leave in December. I hope I'm wrong. Let me tell you.
I don't know if he's that crazy, Mike. We're talking about Osimhen potentially suing Napoli, so he's not crazy to say that he could be sold.
You do not remove from the official side.
They're gonna fire the media team.
Mike, you do not remove. You just said, I learned from you right now that Osimhen has taken away most of his picture with the Napoli jersey.
On Instagram.
You don't do that unless you have serious intention to look elsewhere. Okay? So, I hope I'm wrong.
It's a tactic.
Well, listen to me. When somebody that is officially in charge of posting videos or posting picture, I don't know what it was posted on the TikTok, and De Laurentiis, after the fact, first of all, you don't post anything of that caliber, especially denigrating and ridiculing Osimhen without going through the upper management.
No, that's not true.
You don't think so?
Okay, so let me just give a little bit more context.
So who does that?
So most likely, my best idea, right? Because I know how this is. We run a company based on social media, and there are sometimes, and I'm not justifying them posting this video, but I'm saying things fall through the cracks. There are times where it's probably a younger kid who sees the trend, wants to get views, wants to get the likes, because it had like 400,000 likes before, and they didn't think too much of it. For sure, nobody in the upper management. It's crazy to think that Napoli upper management posted this video to say, this is what we're going to do to push back on Osimhen because he got subbed out because he's not signing the contract. More than likely, it's a younger kid that's running the TikTok, and he made a mistake. making this video. I'm posting this video. They've posted weird stuff before. They made one with Kvara. We showed the video. Then they also called Osimhen a coconut. Like there was another viral trend.
Why is a coconut? What does that mean?
I think it was a trend.
Well, let me tell you something, okay? Did Napoli officially apologize to Osimhen for the post? Yes or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, so what does that tell you?
I agree with that.
Okay, when you're not saying, hey, by the way,
Maybe behind closed
Mr.
doors.
Osimhen,
probably.
we apologize. The kid
You
that
shouldn't
is
do it
running-
behind closed doors.
Right.
You post the
have
video
to do it
publicly, you have to apologize
you have to do
publicly.
Mike, if somebody's posting you and is ridiculing you on, on prime time TVs,
Prime time. I
then
love that when you
you're
say that.
supposed to say, hey.
Couldn't it have been as simple as Osimhen sees the video on TikTok, he asks for it to be removed, it gets removed, they say, and then if it gets bigger like this, you say, all right, we messed up, we made a mistake. Like, does it really need to get this far is my question.
It's not just this. That's
but I
why.
know. So that's what I'm
It's not
saying.
just
Like,
this.
if it is just this, and that's the only thing, I'm like, I don't know. I'm sort of in the middle. I feel like it's been an over-exaggeration on a lot of people's side.
Okay, the other thing that is still keep running into my mind. I said, why is this? Why is this? Okay, first of all, I don't think the team, especially the top 3 or 4 players inside the Napoli, they bought into this Rudi Garcia new idea, because inside their mind they are saying to themselves, who the hell are you? You just came over. You're trying to tell us how to play soccer, your style right now. Everything that we did last year, you worked perfectly. We were 20 points above the second place, and now you're telling us what to change. You don't change something that is working. So I'm sure someone is getting ticked off about this thing here. And I would say, even though we didn't have the leadership that we had before into Napoli, I think some leadership is forming us at that level. And I'm not sure if it's Osimhen is the new leader or if somebody else is the new leader. I think that the 3 or 4 people over there in Napoli, 3 or 4 of the top players, I don't know, you guys can guess who those people are. I think they are saying, hey, listen, this shit here is not it's not flying. So this Rudi Garcia, he has lost some of the respect for the top players. He subs Kvaratskhelia, he subs Osimhen, he subs.
Should they sack him?
That's too early. It's too early. So I think Rudi Garcia, he has to show that is embracing the player. I've never seen this Rudi Garcia hugging them after the game. He comes off like this high corporate guy that he comes in with a nice tie and a jacket and with a little book under his arm, like a little chicken walking to I said, hey, Paisa, you just walked inside this new organization. This is a winning organization. You needed to just take it.
It's definitely Spalletti had the opposite approach. He was so embracing of the fan base, of the Napolitan, of the players.
Not that I like Spalletti.
That's the characteristics of a person.
But I think he makes a valid point too.
Not that I like Spalletti, but this Rudi Garcia seems to me.
But if you get results, it doesn't matter if you talk to the fans.
But
or
now you don't have
anything.
either
You know
one.
what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but Mike, this attitude is conducive for me to
Mike,
say
what do you
the
think?
message that Gerrard said, I'm the top
What do
dog,
you think about the
what I'm
sacking
saying.
idea? Because there's been the rumors.
I don't know right now, but I want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys
Wait,
think...
but answer my question.
It's
Would you
going
sack
to.
him?
It's part of the thing. It's part of my question.
If I
Do
don't
you guys
answer, you mean.
think... Right now, no. I think it's too
Okay.
early. But do you guys think he'll make it to the winter break? I think no. I think he's going to get sacked. He's not going to eat the panettone, personally.
I think he eats the panettone.
He's going to eat the panettone,
Yeah, I
but
think
not
so.
the spumante. The spumante is not going to drink it.
Yes or no?
I would say De Laurentiis is not that crazy. Because De Laurentiis rarely sucks, except for, the situation that we saw with Ancelotti. But De Laurentiis is not going to suck anybody.
No.
Because, first of all, he's paying a lot of money, this guy here. And he's still on the predication that is with the Spalletti, the fact that he owed the money, he had the extra year, and then Spalletti left.
He's not going to
with the
pay 2
national team.
coaches.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's
Oh,
a
no,
lot
he doesn't
of
have to
money.
pay Spalletti anymore. Sorry.
So I don't think it's going to be...
Oh, well, he would have to pay 2 coaches. Sorry.
He's not
Yeah.
going to get sacked. I mean, unless it becomes a disaster, it becomes like an
Yeah.
impediment for Napoli to move forward.
Can you explain, by the way, when we say eat the panettone and drink the spumante? Why don't you explain to our non-Italian understanding fans?
If you're not Italian, the typical, let's say, dolce or the cake that they wait for Christmas is been symbolized by this panettone. The panettone is like
Sweet bread cake?
sweet bread with the raisins sometimes, or sometimes
Chocolate is
with
my
the
favorite.
pandoro.
You like chocolate?
The pandoro,
Yeah, I
it's
like
got
the
some raisins. It's got
Raisins I eat around them.
We have so many different types
I like
of
it plain.
panettone. We have so many different types of panettone.
Just some powdered sugar.
And you know what? We get the best panettone coming from Sicily.
All right, hold on.
Oh my
Answer
God,
the
just say
question.
it.
Say why we say that, though.
why do we say it?
Bari, Anto.
What? No, it's fiasconado.
Okay, basically, you say they're not going to eat the panettone,
Well,
meaning they're not going to make it
They're
to
not gonna make
Christmas.
it. Yeah,
Yes, they're not. It's not gonna make Christmas.
And then the spumante?
The spumante, it might be that it's not. It's not gonna. It's gonna be sacked right after the New Year.
He's not going to, because the spumante
The
is
spumante
the
is being
champagne.
open on December 31st. Okay, so
There you go. A little Italian
so
lesson.
no for you. You guys are.
He said the
opposite of me.
spumante. He said he's going to get sacked between the 25th and the
Yes,
31st.
am I?
It's just
If
it's
there
a
is a
joke.
game, listen.
There is a
no.
game. There is a game.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
So pick one, yes or no?
I would say no.
Okay. So
Yeah,
both
no.
you know.
Yeah, no. And you say yes?
I say yeah.
Your prediction is yes? Okay, let's move on. There was a question from Bobo, not Bobo Vieri. Another Bobo.
That's what I was thinking.
No, all right. Relax, guys.
Let me relax.
Yeah, why not?
This
Why
is the
not?
top podcast of the United States
And the world.
and the world.
Okay. This guy Bobo said, I know it's not Serie A, it's about Serie B. They said, what do you make about the current state of Palermo in Serie B?
Palermo.
And Mike, where does Palermo sit and where does Bari sit? If you had to take a wild guess.
Palermo is probably going to be sitting, if they won today, they're going to be sitting on third place.
Oh, I think Bari's around 10th, right outside the
They were
playoffs.
ninth coming into today.
All right, so.
Who? Not Bari?
Yeah,
Oh, I
Bari.
said 10th.
What was the
okay.
final score?
I think they lost 2-1 to Parma.
Palermo's been doing really well. They
Yeah,
might
listen,
make it back.
You know who's behind Palermo? Manchester City.
City Football Group.
Listen, we need somebody other than De Laurentiis or next to De Laurentiis
Bring Haaland there for a couple
Well,
of
we
games,
can
right?
use it for a few
Loan
games.
him
Bring
out.
Bari.
Man City's going to win the league by
Yeah.
by March. Come on,
Yeah,
they'll be
just
fine.
Give Haaland some real food, some sepia.
Oh,
and
we
fly
have
him over there, right?
spectacular raw seafood in Bari, so please
Maybe he can score a couple goals, right?
welcome to Bari. You're gonna enjoy.
Anto, what is Anto?
Palermo second place. Wow.
Anto, what is his name be in Italian? Erling.
Huh?
Erling. Enrico, what would you call Erling Haaland?
what's
Enrico.
How would you change him to Italian name? Erling is Haaland's first name. How would you make him Barez?
Enrico.
That's
All
it, right?
We have a question from Miroslav that asks,
Closer.
should Samardzic leave Udinese and which club is he best for him? Which club is best for him?
He almost left.
He nearly
and
signed
then
for
he
Inter.
got caught. He got caught with that back and forth with Inter, and then all of a sudden, I guess the sponsor or the family or the people that he was supposed to be.
Ask for extra money.
Yeah.
Okay, but either way,
Samardzic.
he's Samardzic. It's your daughter.
Let me just text her. I'm on the podcast.
Okay, no
Because I
problem.
have that option.
I'll take over. Samardzic scored an insane
I'm on the podcast.
goal.
I gotta call you later. Goodbye.
Samardzic scored a really great goal against Napoli. He tore Natana apart on the trick. He's been the best player for Udinese. He's the only guy that could help them score a goal. I think, where could he go? Where could Samardzic go? Realistically.
In Jan?
Yeah, let's say in January. Yo, Napoli would be a good option. I still think that
think
they
that
need help.
high?
I think they need help in midfield. Yeah, he almost went to Inter.
I think Juventus can use
Yeah.
him.
Well,
almost won
Juventus
Inter,
could, but they won't get him.
Almost won Inter, but what? Bench
Juventus,
warmer at Inter?
if Juventus was smart, they would get Samardzic.
But what's almost won Inter? Being a bench warmer at
A
Inter.
rotation, yeah.
He's a young
Inter
buck.
is no longer an option, especially after
No,
they
I
got
don't think
Frattesi,
Inter
they got
is.
everybody. They got seven. They got
But
extremely
they're not going to go
high
back.
number.
Why
They're not
not?
going back to
Not
each
enough.
other.
Why not like an Atalanta where you can actually get minutes?
Mm.
A team like that that's flirting, Anto's favorite word, with a European spot. Why not?
Listen. Could be. He
I
could
think
be,
he's a really good player.
He could be the natural sub for Fiorentina too, especially because Amrabat has
Fiorentina.
left. Amrabat has left. I would say
They
that.
got a lot in the midfield, though. They got Maxime Lopez.
Competition.
They got a lot of guys there.
Yeah, but Joe Barone and Rocco, they're very smart, so they can, they can read into and say, hey, listen, they probably the next 2-3 years, Jack Bonaventura is not going to be able to play at that level. So how old is Jack? Is that 35, 36?
He's up there.
Okay, so just bring him in and then starting to give some rest to Jack Bonaventura, and then on and off. The next thing you know, Samardzic is a staple of Fiorentina too. Joe, you listening?
Maybe. And I think it'd be hard for him to go to really play unless he wants to fight for his minutes.
Lecce could be another good
Lecce.
option.
He's gonna go downwards.
Why was
Mark,
downwards? Lecce is not.
He's gonna go down.
What are you
Is he
talking
gonna-
about? Roma? Do you think Roma can use Samardzic, Marco?
Well, speaking of Roma would be, I would love to see him at Roma. The only other question I see here from from Carlo is about Roma. Obviously, they play tomorrow. But Lukaku, 3 goals in his last 3 games. He's helped change the look of Roma. Yeah, 3 starts. Sorry, Mike. Yeah, you're right. He's helped change the look of Roma. I see a hold-up man, a guy who lets the rest of the midfielders get into the game. He had a couple also nice 1-2 plays, I think, with Cristante and Dybala.
Too, yeah.
The thing is, I believe a lot more. We've all changed our predictions a little bit since the beginning of the season. Maybe I was a little bit too harsh on Roma. Where I see the current state, maybe they can be closer to the top 4 than I had initially expected.
I said if Lukaku had a crazy season, he'd possibly make Champions League, and you guys were killing me. You guys were like screaming at me.
All right, where do they sit right now? What place are they?
I know. I'm not saying
you make it seem like you were right.
I'm not saying that, but you're making it seem like, oh, now you're turning tides a little bit. I'm not. There's still a lot going on with Roma. It's still early.
Who do you have winning the league, by the way?
Inter.
Who's second?
Juve.
You still believe in that one?
That's early. Well, they look. I don't know. Juve are such a strange team.
Sorry, go back.
Once January comes, when the more European games, I think that's when Juve really can, get the points that's needed that everyone else is.
Sorry, go on about Roma. I interrupted you.
But with Lukaku's doing good. If he keeps this up, maybe we can see some flashes of that Inter Lukaku that we saw. But still early. I don't want to jinx him. I'm a big fan of Lukaku. I like how he is as a player. If he keeps it up, stops yapping to the media and just puts his head down to work, I think he could do some real damage. If Dybala is also healthy next to him.
Got a lot of ifs in there, Mike.
It is, because that's what it is with Roma this season. There's a lot of ifs. We're betting on a lot.
Mike's last point is what actually it's all about. If Dybala and Lukaku, because they seem to know how to play with each other, if they connect, it's trouble. And let's not forget, Abraham is coming back when?
Probably January.
Okay, so
I think it just should be January around there.
Imagine
New Year.
now you have Dybala like a playmaker, and Dybala takes shots. Dybala is not. It's everything.
Yeah.
Dybala is another guy so Dybala, Lukaku, and Abraham, and
Pellegrini.
Pellegrini.
You know what? You know what? You made a really good point, though.
Let me tell you something. I'm not saying that Roma might challenge for the 4th place.
But they're gonna win the Scudetto.
No, they're gonna be flirting with the challenge in that 4th.
But you know what's so interesting? I thought about that the other day. It's a really good point. Naturally, just because he's a center forward, we think, all right, Lukaku comes in to replace Tammy Abraham, who's injured. But he's a very different profile to Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham runs in. Yeah, like I'm saying, like Roma haven't had this sort of figure that holds the ball up and allows the team to go forward. He's much better at hold-up play than Tammy is, and I think that it wouldn't be crazy if they end up linking up together. I think just naturally I had it in my mind that Roma play one forward, and it's going to be between Belotti, Tammy, and Lukaku, but I think it could change it. And the other thing that's on my mind is how lucky Lukaku got. Lukaku is so lucky. With all the problems that he caused this past year, what he did with Inter, then he tried to go to Juventus. He begged to go to Juventus. It didn't. It fell through.
He should be in body right now.
It's not that bad.
Mr. Producer.
He said it's not that
Mr. Producer.
At least you're in Palermo, Mike. They're about
kind of
body.
abuse that I take, Mr. Producer?
Security.
When I'm telling you, when I'm signing to you, we have a present coming up.
He should be embodied in Sepia.
No, but for real, he got very lucky that Roma was available, that they were able to do the deal. Otherwise, he could have ended up at Chelsea doing nothing, maybe
Frozen
out of the squad or
sitting on the bench
in Saudi Arabia, wherever he could have been. And he found the perfect place that will love him more than any other club. Because I think anywhere else he goes, Chelsea, the fans are going to boo him. If he went back to Inter, they would have been pissed off. He found a perfect... Juve, same thing. Yeah, he found the perfect bubble.
Juve would have done much better, I think. Juve should have gotten him.
Okay, but I'm saying for Lukaku, he got very lucky that Roma was available, and they'll embrace him in the way that he needs to be embraced for the type of player that he is.
This guy here already played for Mourinho. I don't know the relationship that he had when he was on the EPL.
I think it was good.
It was a good relationship, so it was not somebody that he had a controversy. So I think it's the combination of all of those factors and fact that Lukaku draws a lot of attention when he gets the ball, whether it's with the back on the net, on the net, or whether it's moving forward, he's sprinting, or he's taking the defender one-on-one. Abraham has almost the same characteristic. I'm telling you, you double the speed of those two guys, somebody's going to double up somebody else over there. So, and that will leave somebody else open. That somebody else could be El Shaarawy. It could be Pellegrini. It could be a lot. It could be Lukaku when they trying to stop Abraham, or it could be Abraham when they're trying to stop Lukaku. I think Mourinho by just luck, he found himself to have one of the best attack of Italy right now as we speak.
It's definitely out of luck. I mean, the way that Juventus got rid of Dybala, the Lukaku situation, all of those things were never expected to happen. Like, if you told people months before, no one would have thought that they could have ended up in that spot, and that's some to his credit. Last topic before we get out of here. Lazio. We talked about a lot of teams that are desperate for goals.
We have to talk about Juventus too.
We talked about Juventus.
No. We have to talk about Juventus with Sassuolo.
Okay, well, let's finish it. Let's do Lazio.
I don't know why you
Let's do Lazio.
No. It's convenient. It's very convenient. He's skipping that.
It's just the way my clock works. You know, I got a haircut. I got a barber's appointment.
I will call it if you have any question about the Sassuolo Juventus. Just,
yeah, it's crazy. Not one person asked. It's so weird. I checked all the comments. Nobody asked. That's why.
Let me see the comments. Let me verify.
Okay, let's talk about Lazio first. Okay. A lot of teams desperate to score goals. We said Kvara, Napoli, Osimhen, all these teams desperate. Lazio is another team that desperately needed a win against Torino, which is a tough game. The nightmare that went on with this Lazio side and Maurizio Sarri, the chaos that ensued with them. In their last game, I was reading not only the problems in the locker room where they say Lazzari was throwing a fit and he's not happy with the amount of time that he's been able to play, but then also Lotito, who already had problems in the summer with Sarri in terms of players that they wanted to sign. They say that they heard from their box, from the director's box, that Lotito was screaming, "You need to play Castellanos over Immobile." Why he was very upset that he wasn't throwing Castellanos in and not happy with some of the rotation. So, man, that is like a bubble waiting to burst, in my opinion. This Sarri, Lazio, if they lost today, I'm telling you, they could have spelled a lot of trouble.
Who's gonna sack for?
Well, he got a red card. Listen, he got a red card.
That's a good question.
He got a red card today, sorry. Right?
I don't know if he got a red card.
Yes, he did. He got a red card.
They showed that on the TV, but then I thought he stayed there.
I'm not sure.
Okay, did you hear what he said?
Got a red card?
Who gets sacked first, Rudi Garcia or Sarri? That's a really good one, Mike.
I would say Sarri.
Sarri goes to Napoli.
Both on the plank, and they're gonna kick them.
I would say Sarri.
I'm gonna say Sarri too.
I'll tell you why.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Europe, no, Europe's gonna keep them alive. They just be tied with Atletico, who just beat Real Madrid. So he's gonna use some kind of. I think Rudi Garcia's gonna sack before Sarri.
Okay. Guys, in the comments, make sure you let us know. All right, that's it, right? We hit all the topics?
No,
I said
we
gotta
have to
go?
talk about Juventus.
No, I think I gotta
Juventus.
go.
Okay,
Right.
Juventus. Listen,
I got
guys.
a lot to talk about.
Mr. Producer. With Juventus, we have to talk about what's going on with this team over here. They're very streaky.
Yeah.
They come and they play Sassuolo and they get slapped around, humiliated. Because if Sassuolo will have scored 7-2, nobody will be saying, "Oh my God, it's unlucky." Sassuolo slapped Juventus around.
How bad was it?
It was very bad. I mean, they look like those guys. They look like they rookies.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh my God! Please. Oh, and you know what the funny part was? I was watching Marco on CBS Sports on Paramount Plus. Excuse me. Him next to Grella. I'm sure that Grella is a Juventus fan too. But him and Grella. And then Papi was wearing a Sassuolo color.
Green?
Yeah. And then Papi, he took those two guys. He was holding them like this. Look, bam, 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 bam.
Like what is that?
He was slapping them.
Shibomano?
No, like little puppets. It looks like those two guys. Yeah. He was like a dust.
Show the camera.
Dusters. He was using them like dusters. He was just doing dust on the table.
I don't know what that means.
I gotta tell you something. This Sassuolo is the biggest surprise, but the Juventus is the biggest surprise. Mr. Producer, please.
So which one? What is going on? What the hell is going on here? How do I not know what's going on?
We bought you a nice surprise.
What the hell is going on?
Last week.
Pickle number one.
What the hell is this? Why is there a pickle on the table?
Number two.
You guys are sick.
Pico number 3.
You guys are sick.
Mr. Producer.
That's disgusting. I hate pickles.
Pico
And pickle
number
number
4.
four.
That's a cucumber, buddy.
So the score was 4-2. So you got
was
4
it?
people. Guys, those 2 guys, including Peter, they were humiliating me with, let's introduce the podcast. We have Marco Messina, Mike K, MK,
doesn't even know your last
Mr.
name.
Cantaris, whatever. Peter Curto and Antonio. 5 palmi, 5 with the hands. Now you got your 4 pickles. Cucuzzi. Enjoy, okay? 4
What's he gonna do with it? What's he gonna do with
4
it? Anto?
pickles. He can do whatever he wants. He can do.
I'm not gonna eat them.
That for you. You can do. You don't have
What
to
else
eat them.
you gonna do with
I don't know. Hey,
I'm gonna throw them out.
we leave it up to you guys.
No,
what
make
he's
a
gonna
nice
do with
salad.
that.
Make a
I'll
nice
make a
salad.
salad. Make a
Listen,
salad.
just freshly taken from you. Come on, from the market.
That is fresh.
Well, what's with the pumpkins?
Well, those the only 2 goals that you guys scored were very flat. You know, just flat.
They're nice pumpkins, though. They're
Understood.
There's a lot of pumpkins.
Listen.
So it was a.
This is friendship. If I give it, I have to be able to take it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well done. This is funny. I don't really understand the meaning totally, but
He doesn't either.
it wasn't
He
as
don't
clever as the cinque.
No, but you got slapped around 4 times,
Mm-hmm.
and since you like to play pickleball, we talked about that the pickles would be very,
Gotcha.
would be a good idea.
That's
right?
funny.
That's just a cucumber, though.
What are you talking about?
Is this a pickle or a
You
cucumber?
should,
You know what the
be bigger
difference
than
is?
that. It should be bigger
No,
than
do you know what the
that.
difference
What is it?
No.
A pickle is a cucumber that's inside brine. That's stay there for like weeks.
So how do you know?
Cause it would be in a jar of brine.
So you messed up your own joke.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm giving you 4 of those to enjoy.
Okay.
Enjoy just to remember that
Thank
from
you.
time to
I
time you
appreciate
need
you.
to step back.
You're a good guy.
And not to make fun, especially of AC Milan.
He has a nice dinner if you ask.
Yeah, sure. Nice.
That's perfect. I don't need to pay.
He's gonna be
It's
nice
free.
Salad, healthy salad.
It's true.
He got it from your wallet.
He probably stole it from me.
So
Well done.
if we cover all the topic, let's talk about Fiorentina. You want to say anything about Fiorentina?
They play tomorrow, no?
Oh, okay. So fine.
They signed Nico Gonzalez till 2028,
I know,
which is
I know,
nice.
I saw that.
3.2 million.
That's a big one.
Yo,
Consider
they showed a
going
lot.
to the EPL.
They showed
There's
a lot
of
this
interest.
by keeping him and then
Yeah,
resigning him.
it's true.
I
It
should,
shows
they're
that
showing
they're
that they're
serious.
Hey, and
good
just
mission.
to quiet down all of those rumors, how come all those bad negative rumors with the Joe and Commisso, they stopped? Because I'll tell you why.
You
Because
win.
you winning, and they show them, especially with the Centro Sportivo, that those guys are for real. So Firenze should be thankful to have Rocco and Joe on.
Why don't you give them some pickles?
No, I'll give them something else, but I'll let you enjoy the 4 pickles.
Appreciate it. Guys, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Ciao ragazzi.
Ciao, guys.